monitoring the development. As more development unfolds, we'll keep you posted. For now, they are in pursuit of the bandits.
Black Friday, as gunmen kidnap over 300 students of a girls' college in Zamfara State.
We only approve of this technology if the security and safety of our citizens are guaranteed.
Senate engages the public on the status of the 5G network in Nigeria.
We have agreed that this ongoing national strike in the universities and inter-university centers should be suspended.
Members of SANU NASU call off strike. Good evening and thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. We are live in Abuja. I am Jummai Yusuf. Dotun Ogunyome joins us for Lagos and Kemi Akinwande will be joining us later from Ibadan. Thanks so much for joining us. Suspected armed bandits earlier today kidnapped more than 300 students of Government Girls Secondary School Jangebe in Talata Mafra local government area of Zamfara State. The gunmen stormed the school around 1 a.m. and abducted the students. Okay, moving on now.
State Commissioner of Information Suleiman Tunau Anka confirmed the incident. Operatives of Operation Hadarin Daji are currently in pursuit of the abducted students with a view to ensure their safe release. State Commissioner of Police Obituaries, who disclosed this while on assessment visit to the school, said the joint security team, which includes Commander Operation Hadarin Daji, Major General Amiru Bandi, and the Brigade Commander, 1 Brigade Nigerian Army Headquarters Kusau, as well as some officials of the state government, have led a heavily armed reinforcement team to Jangebe to complement the ongoing rescue operation in the locations where the students are believed to have been taken to.
We are monitoring the development. As more development unfolds, we'll keep you posted. For now, they are in pursuit of the bandits. And the direction they have taken is known. So, with time, new developments may arise coming from these efforts, and then we'll keep you posted.
Okay. How many students were actually kidnapped?
From the principal, 370 students, girls.
The school has been closed following the ugly incident. Some residents of the community said the abductors forced their way into the school premises through the main gate, which has one security guard who ran away on sighting them.
They
actually went after them, get close to them, they exchanged fire, and eventually when the vehicle of the army met them, they took them, but eventually it stuck into the bush that they can no longer go after them. They actually got one of them, but he took to his heels because he abandoned his vehicle and took to his heels. But they can hear the gunshot, and they equally have to come back because they can no longer go after them because, as they said, they are too many. They got to know of the situation around 2 a.m. in the morning, but to them, they thought the bandits are coming after their cattle. But eventually, at around 4 to 5, they were able to understand that it was the students of this school that they have taken away. They are actually, he said, in a sad mood because they don't know what will happen to their children.
They added that the abductors earlier had an encounter with some security personnel where they exchanged fire. A student who escaped the incident after hiding in a toilet told NTA News that the abductors stormed the school around 1 a.m. and broke into their hostels while they forced them out.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has described the latest abduction of hundreds of students of Government Girls Secondary School Jangebe in Zamfara State as inhumane and totally unacceptable. President Buhari sent a strong warning to the bandits and their sponsors, saying his administration will not succumb to blackmail by bandits who target innocent school students in the expectations of huge ransom payments. According to the president, no criminal group can be too strong to be defeated by the government government, adding that the only thing standing between the security forces and the bandits are the rules of engagement. He said government has the capacity to deploy massive forces against the bandits in the villages where they operate, but the limitation is the fear of heavy casualties of innocent villages and hostages who might be used as human shields by the bandits. President Buhari noted that a hostage crisis is a complex situation that requires maximum patience in order to protect the victims from physical harm or even brutal death at the hands of their captors. He warned the bandits not to mistake government restraint for humanitarian goals of protecting innocent lives as a weakness or a sign of fear or irresolution. The president appealed to state governments to review their policy of rewarding bandits with money and vehicles, while also advising states and local governments to be more proactive in improving security around schools and their surroundings. Now, the recent abduction of 317 students of the government secondary school Jangebe, Zamfara State, has come under condemnation by notable Nigerians who describe it as a negative trend that must not be allowed to continue. Gufan Shaji captures the minds of these personalities.
Of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has condemned the attack on government secondary school Jangebe in Zamfara State, where hundreds of schoolgirls were abducted. In a statement, Senator Lawan expressed sadness and outrage that the incident happened while efforts were still being made to rescue those abducted just over a week ago at another secondary school in Kagara, Niger State. He said the recurrent attacks on schools and other acts of banditry call for intense soul-searching on how the nation arrived at this sorry state, urging the authorities to work together to ensure the immediate rescue of the girls. Similarly, the Northern States Governors Forum says the attack on the school and subsequent abduction of the female students will no doubt discourage other parents from sending their children to school and act as a disincentive to the federal government's bid to reduce the number of out-of-school children. In a statement, Chairman of the Forum and Governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, wants the security agencies to stop the negative trend and ensure the release of the girls. Meanwhile, the Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talon, has condemned the attack. In a statement, she implored the security agencies to do the needful, while also calling on mothers across the country to raise their voices in fasting and prayers for God's intervention to ensure a peaceful nation. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
And now to get more details into the abduction of the students in Jangebe, let's join Shehu Mohammed Dati. Shehu Mohammed Dati, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, can you tell us the mood in Jangebe, community now, almost 24 hours since the abduction?
All right. Jangebe is calm since the abduction of the students. From my left here is the road down, and on my right here is the road known as Shir Galadima. At this now, normalcy has returned, unlike in the morning when the news spoke to the people. They have now returned to their normal businesses, doing all they need to do at this moment. It's after 9 now, but they have different points where people gather. But the point of discussion is, but the interesting is they are all praying for the return as students as it is now.
Okay, Shehu Mohammed Dati, how are the parents feeling? What is their feeling there? How dejected do they feel over this abduction of their children, not knowing where they are right now?
Actually, the parents are not feeling fine. They are not feeling okay. That they have lost, though they are back, but they are nowhere to be found as it is now. They are not in their good mood. They have been discussing, praying that their children will come back to them. I had opportunity of discussing with some of them, and they were able to explain how it was losing their children. I equally have one of them here.
Okay, thank you so much, Shehu Mohammed Dati. Okay.
The parent is saying that with them and the students are in now, their only prayer is that government will do everything possible to see that the students have returned home and returned to their parents. This is the situation.
Okay, Sheikh Mohammed Detti, thank you so much for giving us an insight into the situation now in Jangebe, and we do sincerely apologize for the poor audio there in that interview. While moving on now, Governor Aminu Bello Waziri Tambua of Sokoto State has described the abduction of more than 300 students of Government Girls Secondary School Jangebe in Zamfara State as a tragedy, which further demonstrates the deteriorating security situation, especially in the northern part of the country. Tambua, alongside the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar III, was at the Government House, Gusau, to sympathize with government and people of the state over the sad event. Governor Tambua said the incident is a call for re-strategizing and better commitment from all stakeholders towards addressing the prevailing security challenges in the region. He charged the security agencies to intensify effort to ensure safe return of the abducted girls. Tambua and the Sultan had earlier met behind closed doors with Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad. The Nigerian police force says it has commended search and rescue operation involving the deployment of ground and aerial assets to locate and rescue the students of Government Girls Secondary School Jangebe, Zamfara State. A statement by the force indicates that the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has ordered the deployment of 2 operational surveillance helicopters to Zamfara State. This is in addition to the personnel of Operation PAF Ada 2 earlier deployed to the state to support efforts by the command to combat banditry, kidnapping and other related crimes. The IGP, while condemning the abduction of the innocent female students, assures that the police and other security forces will not relent until the abducted students are successfully rescued and reunited with their families. The IGP has also called for calm and enjoins members of the public, particularly the people of Zamfara State, not to hesitate in availing the law enforcement community with useful information to assist in the rescue of the abducted schoolgirls. And as dialogue and reconciliation with armed bandits initiated by Zamfara State government progresses, a notorious commander of the bandits in the state, Sani Zakwe, and his 10 lieutenants have renounced banditry and embraced peace. Zakwe is the eldest son of the late paramount leader of the armed bandits in Zamfara State, Buhari Daji, who was killed in 2018. The repentant bandits took oath with the glorious Quran at Government House Gusau, proclaiming that they have repented from all sorts of criminal activities. Weapons surrounded by the repentant bandits include 8 AK-47 rifles, rocket launcher, MAP machine and large cache of live ammunition. Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad says the development has confirmed the glad tidings by a number of bandits who had earlier repented and laid down their arms. That and more of their colleagues from across the state will embrace the peace deal. Now, as the federal government intensifies efforts to end kidnapping, banditry and communal crashes, the need for traditional rulers to be assigned constitutional roles has again been reiterated. Oba Abdul Rashid Adewale Akambi, Olua of Owo, who made the call after a courtesy visit to Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, said traditional rulers should be appropriately recognized for them to be able to address issues before they lead to ethnic or communal crisis. Also commenting on the farmers' herder clashes, the Iwo monarch says the pastoralists should be trained and encouraged to adopt modern method of ranching.
Because of the love of this country, we are on the brink of ethnic crisis. People talking about divisions, secession. But I want us to know that unity is the best for this country. And also, criminals need to be prosecuted. The issue about the Fulani herdsmen and the South needs to be addressed, which is addressed in the way that farmers should be able to farm, and the herders need to be educated in a modern way of ranching.
State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that the traditional ruler also recommended improvement of welfare for the police and monitoring of nations' borders to put an end to arms and small weapon proliferation in the country. Still talking security, the attention of the Defense Headquarters has been drawn to a trending video insinuating that vehicles conveying agricultural products from the north to the southern part of the country were being prevented along Kaduna-Jaba Road by some unscrupulous elements. A statement by the Acting Director Defense Information, Brigadier General Oyema Onwachuku, says, following the tension generated by the incident, joint troops comprising the military and other security agencies were promptly deployed to clear the Jaba-Kaduna Road and have since restored normalcy in the general area. Brigadier General Onwachuku notes that there is currently free flow of traffic along the axis and enjoined commuters and residents to go about their normal businesses. The Defense Headquarters warns unscrupulous group or persons aimed at disrupting legitimate economic activities by preventing movement of goods in a bid to generate clashes along ethnic divides to desist from such unpatriotic acts to face the full wrath of the law. 5G network in focus? What's it all about? Let's join the conversation when we return. Do stay with us.
Hey guys, making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109*NIN hash. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
I don't know what else to say, but I'm sick and tired of complaining and speculating.
They keep telling us we are the leaders of tomorrow. Our time will come.
But you know what? Our time is now.
The time is now to drive better governance.
The time is now to get involved. It's youth o'clock. We must take our rightful position.
As for me, a vibrant female amputee, APC has shown me my limitations are only my imaginations and has given me the chance to prove my strength.
So for me and my family,
we are going to register to join APC.
Today.
Why APC? We decided that they're not too young to run bill into law. APC has proven itself as the only youth-friendly party.
I am Governor Yabelo of Kogi State, Chairman, Youth, Women and People Living with Disabilities Mobilization and Sensitization Committee of the APC Membership Registration and Revalidation Exercise 2021, and I approve this message.
Here is a special announcement. Can I have your attention for a minute? Are you a secondary school student in exit class preparing for your final examinations like WAEC, NECO, JAM, NAPTEP, UTME, and more? Or are you an out-of-school student preparing for a receipt of your examinations and you're having challenges with understanding topics on some or all of the subjects? Now here is good news for you. You can now study in a simple, friendly, interactively enhanced teaching and learning environment from your comfort zone and on the go with your laptop, computers, tablets, or phones with the options of studying online or offline. Solve questions from past exams and set mock exams for yourself. Just download the School Aid app from your Google Play Store or Apple Store. Register and you are set to study all you can. School Aid app. We aid you to success.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. Its great value, it protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
The Bureau of Public Enterprises will commence the verification for PHCN retirees and next of kins who have not received their terminal benefits. The verification would hold in Yola and Ibadan from March 8 to March 12 and also in Enugu and Kanu from March 15 to March 19, 2021. If you're one of the PHCN retirees or next of kins who have not received yours, please prepare your relevant documents and come for verification. For more information, please check Daily Trust and Punch newspapers of Tuesday, February 23rd and Thursday, February 25th, 2021, and also next week Tuesday, March 2nd and Thursday, March 4th, 2021. This message is from the Bureau of Public Enterprises, BP.
Helen Paul!
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam. The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes.
To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow! Now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
West Brom continue their fight to survive relegation when they welcome Brighton to the Hawthorns. This Saturday, it's West Bromwich Albion versus Brighton and Hove on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up, in association with Go.com.
Thanks for joining us, and we are not done with the Zamfara abduction of girls in the school, as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has condemned the abduction of hundreds of female students from the government girls' secondary school, Jangebe, in Zamfara State. In a statement by the Permanent Secretary, Bashir Noura Al-Kali, the Minister expressed concern over the abduction and assured parents of the federal government's determination in securing their release. Now, the deployment of the 5th generation network, popularly called 5G, holds great potential for the nation's economy and development. This is the opinion resonated at an investigative hearing on the status of 5G in Nigeria held by the Joint Senate Committee on Communications. Dayo Ogunshola reports.
The Global System for Mobile Communications Association indicates that as of August 2020, no fewer than 38 countries had deployed 5G network, while others are at various stages of either conducting trial or already deployed in parts. For these countries, experts say 5G is capable of transforming their economy through fast wireless network. In Nigeria, opinions have been trailing the introduction of 5G network. It is on this note that the Joint Senate Committee on Communications, Science and Technology, ICT and Cybercrimes, as well as Primary Healthcare and Communicable Diseases, held this investigative public hearing on the status of 5G network in Nigeria.
We only approve of this technology if the security and safety of our citizens are guaranteed. We are not going to be motivated by making money out of it. If there is any implication of other radiation, as many people allege, without knowledge, then I should be the #1 victim. As the global practice, in that process of doing the trial, we remain very objective.
It is recommended that the operators should always conduct EI before going to the site, before deployment.
Based on the various submissions, experts believe that Nigeria cannot claim to be part of the global society while rejecting advanced technology the world is embracing. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
Now let's bring you up to speed with other reports making headlines. The industrial action embarked upon by members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities SANU and the non-academic staff of Universities NASU has been called off with effect from today, 26 February 2021. The Secretary of NASU and spokesperson of the Joint Action Committee of the two unions, Peter Adeyemi, disclosed this after a closed-door meeting between the committee and representatives of federal government. Joseph Austin reports.
Under the umbrella of Joint Action Committee, the two unions have been negotiating with government to come to an understanding and call off the industrial action. This particular deliberation has yielded positive results.
Those areas that needed to be harmonized have been harmonized to the satisfaction of both parties, and resulting from that development, we have agreed that this ongoing national strike in the universities and inter-university centers should be suspended.
Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, expressed government desire to restore normalcy in the universities for full academic activities.
With the normalcy restored in that university system, we intend to do the visitation panel, which is one of the agreements we reached with them, and which cannot be carried out without normalcy in the university system.
The two unions embarked on strike, demanding better funding, payment of allowances, and improvement of welfare packages. In Abuja, Joseph Sound Oten, NTA News.
Religious leaders in the country have been urged to always preach message of peace for one another, peaceful coexistence and patriotism to their congregation as a way of dousing increased ethno-religious tension currently experienced in the country. This was at a workshop to retrain religious leaders on interreligious and intercultural dialogue organized by the National Orientation Agency. Kenneth Nanim has the details.
Nigeria, like some other countries of the world, is being confronted with insurgency, banditry and other forms of insecurity. As if these are not enough, ethno-religious tension is being heightened in parts of the country. To stem the situation and redirect citizens' attention to issues of unity, the organizers of this gathering believe that religious leaders are a strong voice in achieving this.
Their adherents, whether they are Muslims or Christians, believe that religious leaders are representatives of God on earth. And they speak to their followers through the various holy books. Now, given that kind of platform, we think that in the face of the various crises that Nigeria is facing today, that religious leaders have a critical role to play.
This is intended to make participants effective ambassadors in the campaign to bring lasting peace to our great country.
The forum also challenges religious leaders on moral rebirth, as well as caution their members from disseminating unverified messages from the social media that are capable of disrupting the public peace.
My major concern is the youths. How do we capture them? How do we get them to understand that no, they need to love one another?
The religious leaders, however, appealed to the elite and public office holders to also play positive roles in promoting peace and harmonious coexistence amongst their supporters for nation building. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State has restated his commitment to the infrastructural development of Osun State despite paucity of resources. The governor spoke at a media award where he was adjudged the 2020 Best Governor for his outstanding performance. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the governor says the honor will spur him for a greater performance to the state and the country.
And I congratulate His Excellency the Governor, and I present the award on behalf of Business Day. May God bless all of us.
The award, which was specially designed to appreciate people with valor to attain greatness and accomplish goals, does on Governor Boyega for his outstanding performance. The governor expressed confidence that the criteria that hands him the award will always remain the hallmark for his continued service to his people and humanity.
If our modest efforts are given our best to our people in the most challenging 2 years in the country, have handed us this highly coveted award. It is an invitation for us to do more. and surpass our accomplishments in the 2 years ahead. We welcome this invitation with both arms.
Former head of state General Yakubu Gowon and Emir of Kano Aminu Ado Bayero say recognition for hard work should be a call for more work. Other awardees appreciate Business Day Media for the initiative of National Discourse and Good Governance Awards, saying it will inspire leaders for more service to the nation. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Talking aviation now, Allied Air Cargo has recorded another milestone by adding a brand new Boeing 737-800 SF aircraft worth about 8 billion naira to our fleet for cargo operations. The airline is set to take the lead in the continent by deploying the new cargo to COVID-19 vaccine distributions across Nigeria as one of its first mission. Aviation correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that the delivery took place at the cargo section of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
The Boeing 737-800 cargo aircraft is the youngest cargo in the world as of today. For Allied Air, which is the only International Air Transport Association IATA designated cargo airline in Africa, the delivery of COVID-19 vaccines across Nigeria is top priority.
This aircraft now will be dedicated to cargo and also to the COVID-19 distribution of vaccines in the country. So before the coming of the vaccine, the airplane is ready, the cargo chain will be ready, and everything will be ready to receive the vaccine and distribute. Yes, we receive products internationally, but disseminating them across the country. Now we truly have the facilities to follow that. We're very happy. It's a significant deal for Allied Air, and we're very happy to be part of this transaction.
As uncertainty continues to trail the recovery process of the aviation industry due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the boast by the Chief Executive Officer of Allied Air, Van Tongu, to increase investment has been praised as part of efforts to open Nigeria to other African countries, particularly now that the continent is ready for the actualization of African Continental Free Trade Area.
Just last week, we even got a call even from one of the West African countries, even asking that they want Allied Air to participate even in lithium currency.
Based on its enviable reputation as a reliable cargo, Allied Air was one of the few airlines that lifted COVID-19 medical protective equipment and other items to Nigeria at such a critical time when the skies were short in 2020 to curtail the spread of the pandemic. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Now, the much-awaited Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB, will be ready for passage in the next 2 months. This is according to the Chairman Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Sabo Mohammed Nakodo, while leading a 13-man National Assembly Joint Committee on PIB on a facility tour of Dangote Refinery under construction in Lagos. Adeni Taiwo tells us more.
A projected capacity to refine 650,000 barrels per day of crude oil, Dangote Refinery in Lekki, Lagos holds a lot of promises which can help not only in bridging existing gaps in daily domestic demand of 540,000 barrels per day refined petrol, but also a huge potential for export. As a priority before the National Assembly, the Petroleum Industry Bill, among others, targets promotion of private investment in the energy sector. For members of the National Assembly Joint Ad Hoc Committees on PIB, who are working with other stakeholders to meet a 2-month timeline for the passage of the bill into law, a tour of refineries across the country is necessary to acquire needed inputs from stakeholders for the draft bill.
We are going to do everything within our power to see that we lay it on the floor of the Senate in the next 1.5 months. So give and take, we're looking at 2 months before we pass the PIB.
Because both the executive, the legislature, and the stakeholders are on the same platform this time around.
The president of the Dangote Group deserves a pat on the back for his vision that has the potentials of diversifying even our economy and bringing about the much needed foreign exchange and then conserve foreign exchange also.
To further help the committee fine-tune the bill, areas of concern for investors in the proposed law dominated discussion at a presentation by Dangote Refinery.
Pipelines are capital intensive, low return. If you just look at the pipeline alone without looking at the whole value chain. So to make it attractive, we are suggesting to introduce 10-year tax holiday for anybody that builds a pipeline.
In Lagos, Adini Taiwo, NTA News.
Now for some cheering news from our Lagos studio, the total reopening of the 3rd Mainland Bridge. These and other stories as we join Dotun in Lagos. Hello, Dotun.
Thank you, Jummai. And of course, let's hit you with the cheering news that after almost 8 months of partial closure for emergency maintenance, the 3rd Mainland Bridge is to fully reopen to traffic this weekend. In final preparations for the full reopening of the 3rd Mainland Bridge, concrete barriers are being removed at previously designated diversion points of Adeniji and Adekunle, while asphalt has been laid along portions of the road that need final touches.
Once the barriers are removed, the lane marking will be completed. The potholes will also be, the patching will also be completed. So we open it for the public to use.
The ministry also restated its commitments to carry out periodic maintenance on bridges across the nation.
This bridge was worked on about 2 years ago, but now we have done a comprehensive maintenance on it. With this comprehensive maintenance, what we are left with is only the periodic one.
For many who do not know, work on some sections of the bridge still continues, but would be without any disruption to traffic after it is opened.
50% of the achievement. We just released the deck yesterday on the portion where we have 3 columns. So we are going to do the same thing on the other side, which is on the inbound to Lagos. We're going to suspend the bridge on jacks and replace the 6 damaged bearings, which will take roughly 1.5 to 2 months to complete.
The good news is that motorists might not have to wait till Sunday the 28th for the full reopening, as efforts are on to have the bridge opened before midnight of Saturday the 27th. There are various challenges associated with residing in a cosmopolitan city like Lagos. But what other problem can be so challenging than residing in an environment where the next building is a tank farm? The major hurdle before the residents is not just about cohabiting with inflammables, but how to survive in case of an explosion. Michael Olale was at Satellite Town in Lagos and tells us how residents are managing the situation. On the 25th of December 2020, excitement of celebrating Christmas took a dramatic turn for residents of this building. An unexpected fire outbreak was ignited by a petroleum tanker which was leaking its contents in motion, causing panic among the people at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
In fact, what comes to my mind, maybe small, just blow, I mean the whole compound will catch fire, or maybe it will even affect this depot. So all our mind is just to run very far away.
As the trauma continues to haunt the residents, there is this fear that there is no light at the end of the tunnel. This is because in Satellite Town, the proximity between residential buildings and the tank farms is so close, and the number grows every day.
Over 50 tank farms, and there is not even a single modern fire station in the community. Within even the tank farm itself, there is none. And each time the trucks goes out, it goes out in hundreds, bumper to bumper. As I'm talking to you now, there's even gas plant. One is operating already.
At present, most residents have abandoned their property, but for those who have the boldness of the lion, the repercussion comes with a price. Going down the memory lane, 72-year-old John Omorige said what started like a fish farm more than 15 years ago metamorphosed into dreaded tank farms.
I live on drugs on a daily basis because of the tank farms. And you find that it's not everyone that have a strong makeup. I'm sure a lot of people don't even know what is wrong with them.
Although a peace parley for cohabitation has long been instituted, but how long can the marriage between fire and petrol last?
There is something we call blast radius. You see, the chemical content from this particular product, once it filtrates into the air, the vapor goes around. And if there is any little fire, it can ignite it.
From the community's point of view, finding a truce is as simple as ABC, provided a ban is placed on the establishment of more tank farms, while operators must activate reasonable corporate social responsibility and safety measures within their host community. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
Let's now get some updates in the world of business as Abolade Salami is standing by. Over to you, Abolade.
Thank you, Dotun. Good evening and welcome to the Business News segment. And let's start tonight with an economic summit that was held today in Lagos. The rebound in Nigeria's gross domestic product in fourth quarter of 2020 was driven by the federal government economic policies and economic recovery growth plan aimed at stimulating growth. Chairman, National Economic Council and Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo, at a special summit on the economy, said government is committed to sustaining the growth with a call on stakeholders in the financial sector to deepen their effort of making capital accessible to grow businesses in the country.
The banking sector has a crucial part to play in promoting increased and inclusive growth in Nigeria. And I take this opportunity to commend first the Central Bank of Nigeria for the forward-looking support for growth-related initiatives, especially under the Economic Sustainability Plan. The banks also for their patriotic contribution to sustaining growth in the country by creatively accommodating their clients, especially those that face difficulty at the height of the pandemic.
Over the next 3 years, we will continue to encourage the banking sector to increase its loans to the agricultural sector from 4% to close to 10% in 2024.
Lord Gordon and Mefele, bank executives and economic experts at the summit advocated for a concerted effort in the development of the non-oil sector. And now let's cross over to the capital market. Equities market depreciated by 0.74% to close the week in the red territory. Details in this report.
The weight of the bear suppressed the bull at the end of trade as the market dipped by 0.74% to close the all-share index at 39,799.89 basis point. Equity cap finished at 20.82 trillion naira, with volume of shares traded at 507 million, valued at 2.4 billion naira, which exchanged hands in 4,465 deals. Lasaco led on the gainers table with 9.82%, followed by Mutual Benefit and Courtville, appreciating by 8.11% and 5%. While on the losers' end, Champion with 10% depreciation led the losers' table, with Wema Bank and Sunu Assurance losing 10% and 9.59%. On the activity chart, NSE Oil and Gas appreciated in figure by 0.25%, while NSE Banking, Consumer Goods, Industrial and Insurance sectors all depreciated in figures by 0.48%, 0.40%, 0.19% and 2.24%.
And that does it on business news. Jummai in Abuja will be back with the rest of the news after the short commercial break. Please stay with us.
Times are tough. We know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. It's great value. It protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
This looks different.
It is. See for yourself.
Okay, so it's a photo.
Look closer. Photos within photos. What about video? 8K video, beyond cinema quality. So, You can pull portrait quality photos straight from video. this is different. Told you.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to calm the nerve of the tooth. It works.
New Sensodyne Extra Whitening Toothpaste. Extra whitening action for sensitive teeth.
Wednesday, 5:28 p.m. Getting ready to lay down some tunes, but something ain't right. There's some discomfort in my throat. No worries though. TomTom Fresh Lime is here to save the day. Discomfort gone, time to bring the heat. Thanks TomTom Fresh Lime for giving me soothing relief. TomTom Fresh Lime, cool with a zing.
Son, being good at something requires strength. It requires putting in more. That's why the new improved Bonvita is packed with vitality and a richer, creamier taste.
If life were a game, where every choice brought you closer to your dream, ask yourself, would you stay where you're unappreciated? Waiting for change to happen? Or would you somehow take that first step to changing things for yourself? At ARM Pensions, we believe in taking action. Because when it comes to your retirement goals, it's not about who you are. It's about who you play with. Join the team of more than just pension managers. Join the team that appreciates you. Switch to ARM Pensions today.
West Brom continue their fight to survive relegation when they welcome Brighton to the Hawthorns. This Saturday, it's West Bromwich Albion versus Brighton and Hove on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Axis Bank, Babai Jebu, Lipton, and Close Up in association with Gold.com.
Welcome back. Oyo State Government improves waste management system. Details of these amid other stories as we link up with Kemi. Hello, Kemi.
And welcome to Ibadan. Oyo State Government has embarked on Waste to Wealth initiative with the upgrade of our water dump site into a landfill of international standard to improve environmental health and social well-being of its citizens. Correspondent Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
The project, which is to modernize Oyo State solid waste management, is expected to also serve as a renewable energy source. The success of the project Governor Seyi Makinde maintained has led to creation of massive job opportunities, which include that of 3,000 for self-reliance residents of the community and additional 500 for private companies which have registered for refuse collection.
We knew that when we accomplish what we set out to accomplish here, the result will be glaring to all. This landfill will create a clean, green, and environmental friendly state, but also serve as an excellent renewable energy source.
Other stakeholders who spoke at the occasion expressed their appreciation to the state government for relieving the communities of air pollution and unpleasant waste smell. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Ogun State Government has inaugurated a stakeholders committee on security to monitor the activities in schools for the safety of students in Imekwa from local government area of the state. Correspondent Tokpe Alabi tells us more.
Governor Dapo Abiodun directed the State Commissioner for Education with the assistance of the Commissioner of Police to provide adequate security for all the schools in the state. The directive is sequel to cases of recurring attacks and abduction of some school children in some parts of the country as a way of preventing such eventuality in the state. This town hall meeting here in Imeko is to address salient issues bordering on how to strengthen security architecture in schools. The outcome of the meeting is the inauguration of this committee, which has roles to monitor and review security architecture in schools.
We've been hearing about kidnapping of children in schools, and we think we're putting this in place. By God's special grace, they will do the thorough job.
With the porous borders and the forest bushes around us, I think it is very, very important for us to gather like this and to inaugurate a committee that will safeguard our children.
The committee in place, it is expected that holistic and proactive approach will be taken to ensure that there is security and safety for the 124 schools across Imeko. In Imeko, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
And that does it from here. Jummai, it's back to you.
Thank you. And the National Principals Cup begins in Lagos. Details on our sports update.
Time to take a look at some trending sports stories. I am Badi Adeleye. We begin with volleyball. COVID-19 safety protocols top the agenda as preparations are intensified ahead of the Under-18 and Under-19 Boys Africa Cup of Nations at Indoor Sports Hall of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, from 1st to 9th March 2021.
The seats have been tanked and spacing as required by the COVID-19. And if you check, that's the hand washing. And apart from that, we are going to have the sanitizer.
To football now, the much anticipated National Principals Cup competition finally got underway on Friday with Igbobi College Lagos and Government College Kaduna trading tackles in the ceremonial curtain raiser at the Agege Stadium, Lagos. Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Daria, at the event, expressed optimism that the competition will help discover future stars for the country. Still on football, the Nigeria Professional Football League enters match day 13 this weekend with 10 matches to be played at different venues across the country. Leaders Kano Pillars play away to Aqua Starlets. Jigawa Golden Stars will entertain Eyimba, while Sunshine Stars and Adamawa United will do battle. Similarly, the Premier League will again be live on NTA this weekend with two teams in desperate need of 3 points. West Brom and Brighton facing off at the Hutons on Saturday. The match will be live on NTA Network from 3:30 in the afternoon. And finally, last season's semi-finalist Manchester United will face AC Milan in a mouth-watering last 16 tie of the UEFA Europa League, with Arsenal facing Olympiacos. Friday's draw also pitted Tottenham with Dinamo Zagreb, while AS Roma and Shakhtar Donetsk have a date. And that concludes Sports Update. I am Badi Adeleye.
Thank you, Badi. Now, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, Justice John Oho, has announced the sudden death of the immediate past Chief Judge of the court, Justice Adamu Abdul Kafarati. He died of cardiac arrest on Thursday, the 25th of this month, after observing the Maghrib prayer. Born in 1954 at Kwame, Gombe State, late Justice Kafarati joined the Federal High Court in October 1991. He became the acting Chief Judge of the Federal High Court in 2017 and was later confirmed as substantive Chief Judge in 2018 and retired in 2019. Justice Soho commiserated with the family of the deceased, describing the late Chief Judge as humble, courageous and forthright in the discharge of duties. The late former Chief Judge has since been buried according to Islamic rites at Gudu Cemetery after funeral prayers at the National Mosque, Abuja. The death has also been announced of Ezine Catherine Wagbulem Ebeseke in Ezinheti in Beasi local government area of Imo State, age 83 years. She will be buried on 27th February in her husband's compound, and interment will follow after church service at St. John's Apostolic Catholic Church, Umwakwaro, Umbwako, Iheti, Ezinheti in Beasi local government area of Imo State. She is survived by her children, grand and great-grandchildren, among who is Tony Madu, former manager news of the NTA. Now a look at the weather prospect for tomorrow.
For
Poor visibility is currently observed over the north due to the presence of dust haze. And by Saturday, we expect most parts of the north to be slightly cleared from this dust. Cities like Katsina, Kano, Gusau, Sokoto, and Kebbi could experience a poor visibility between 2 to 5 kilometers, while we expect some cloud buildup from the southern parts of the country up to some parts of the central state. Later in the afternoon, there are chances of thunderstorms over Calabar, Port Harcourt, Yenogua, part of Benin, and Warri axis. And that's the weather forecast for Saturday.
And that's the news for today. Thanks so much for watching. I am Jummai Yusuf.